Because this is a leadership book, I'm more or less obligated to begin with leadership. We're supposed to discuss things like vision and planning, leading your people instead of managing them, and how to set the right culture from the top down. This is the part where I'm supposed to promise you the world, or at least marginal success. Instead, I'm going to turn your world and everything you've been taught about leadership completely, quite literally, upside down. The hierarchy that you think you want and the process you've been trying to use to put it in place is ineffective. The first clues that pointed me to this truth came from the Navy SEALs when I joined my platoon as a third officer at the bottom rung of the leadership hierarchy. In most organizations, I would have been viewed as the fucking new guy, FNG, the guy who should watch and learn and do the paperwork that no one else wanted to do, until I could build up some credibility. In most organizations, I would have very few leadership expectations placed on me. But the SEALs create the most effective teams on the planet, and a top-down leadership structure doesn't fit the bill. The people at the top of the hierarchy in the SEALs aren't getting their hands dirty on assignments, even though they all secretly yearn to. Their responsibility is to enable leadership on the ground at all levels so that the most effective actions are taken and supported. Organizations that truly understand what it means to lead and just how important it is to support leadership at every level within the organization will always perform better than the visionary leader companies who all follow the guy at the top. This is not to say that hierarchy doesn't or shouldn't exist. If anyone is an example of hierarchy and positional authority, it's the SEALs. The paradigm shift comes when we separate positional authority, the influence you possess simply because of your title and rank, from the ability and responsibility to lead. Special ops teams like the SEALs are perpetually in high-risk environments run by high-performing individuals. We don't have the luxury of saying, "Listen to me because I'm your boss," or "I've done this 10 times already, I've got this." When every move can be the difference between success or failure, winning or losing, life or death, having an ego about authority would have created a direct risk to the mission and the people around us. We had to be ready to lead and follow at any time, regardless of rank. Even when I went from the FNG with a blunt weapon to the guy in the front, I didn't think of myself as a leader. I just had the most effective approach. We were just doing what had to be done to successfully complete our mission safely. It took years of deconstructing and reconstructing my life to understand what leadership is, and even before that, what leadership is not. Leadership is not a position. Leadership is not a vision statement. Leadership is not the responsibility of the CEO or commander or founder. So what the hell is it? That was the challenge I tasked myself with when I proposed leadership development as the antidote to bullying. And defining it became one of the biggest intellectual challenges of my life. Definitional traits of leadership. When the school called me in to help solve the bullying in their student body, I hadn't created any content yet. I didn't have a program for them to follow or an intention to talk about leadership. But they had a serious problem to resolve. Nothing else had worked, and it didn't take long to see why.